I'm
gonna penetrate this man's soul with my heart. What? Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, the weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? I'm your host, Chris Compton. Let's get into our review and breakdown of Bad Boys for Life with Mike Lowrey from 2020.
Mike, we got more time behind us than in front.
Please. I'm gonna be running down criminals till I'm 100.
Not me. I'm a bit tired.
It's time we be good men.
Bad Boys for Life. Who in the hell wanna sing that song?
Marcus, somebody's trying to kill me.
Who wants to kill you?
Who doesn't? Hell, put my name up there.
We got it, Marcus. We appreciate it.
But family is the only thing that matters. So I'm not letting you go on a suicide mission alone.
That's what I like, teamwork.
It's official. I survived what I've been through. Y'all got drama. The saga continues. Going nowhere, 'cause this bad boy for life.
Yes! No!
Bad boy for life.
Oh! This is my wife's car.
Cover the front door.
She knows. She always knows.
Bad boy for life.
All right, welcome back. Joining me are our
Reoccurring guests, Taylor and Cole.
our reoccurring guests. I screwed up that. Taylor and Cole. We just screened Bad Boys for Life.
One of our more current releases that we screen.
2020 release. This year.
January.
It was out this year?
January
of
this year.
2020, yeah.
Pre-shutdown.
Wild. It
I
feels
did.
like it was from a different planet.
It's the highest grossing movie of the year so far because it came out when it did.
Oh,
Like,
I've got some info on that.
they're thinking it's going to win, actually win some Oscars because of everything that hasn't been released or got pushed back. They think it did way better than it should have.
So we got Miami detectives Mike Lowrey and Marcus Burnett must face off against a mother and a son pair of drug lords who wreak vengeful havoc on their city. So we've got Will Smith reprising his role as Mike Lowrey and Martin Lawrence as Marcus Burnett, and Captain Howard, Joe Pantoliano, returns. This is the first Bad Boys not directed by the Bayhem, directed by Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah.
Bilal.
So I learned that
And where'd they come from?
Adil
How'd they get this gig?
Adil is Belgian and Fallah is Moroccan.
They're big internationally.
Did you guys know that Bad Boys was Michael Bay's first film?
Oh, that's right. I thought it was The
No,
Rock.
I
But The
didn't
Rock
know
was
that.
I
afterwards.
didn't know that. Isn't that crazy?
It's
That's-
not good.
I like the first one.
No,
You didn't like the first one?
First Bad Boys. I don't
The
think it's
first, so if it's Mike and Mike, what's the other one's name in the movie? Mike.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Sorry, brain
Martin.
blacked out. If it's Will and Martin, like in the first movie when they're talking to each other, it's great. But then it's all the other side. It's once Taylor Leone shows up and you have to deal with the plot.
Yes.
Okay, I give you
Yes.
that.
It's really
Taylor Leone.
distracting.
It's
Like-
Leone, and it's them let's do this fake swap lives.
Yes.
just to keep her fickle idiot
That's the plot point that doesn't make any sense. That ruins the whole show.
Who cares what this dumb lady thinks?
Yeah, just break the truth to her. Oh, hey,
it's
here's what's
and
really
if she doesn't
going on.
like it, just lock her up. I don't care. Yeah, no. I found
it's-
it very irritating for that reason.
It's-
The action scenes in it are fun, but
Yeah, the plot device is really weird.
irritating.
So this had a runtime of 2 hours and 4 minutes. IMDb gives it a 6.6 out of 10. And then
It's the people's.
Ro-
It's the people's.
I know this doesn't really matter, but I'm just letting you know. So Rotten Tomatoes, 77% from the critics and 96 from the
The audience.
Right.
audience.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So just to compare, Bad Boys 1, which came out in 1995, so 25 years ago, it got a 42% from critics and a 78 from audience.
People hated the second one.
The second
Then
one's
Bad Boys,
so good, though.
Bad Boys 2 has a 23%
Call
from
it.
critics and a 78. So it equals, the audience liked it equally. I also liked it much more.
Yeah, no, Bad Boys 2. I remember hearing that was trash for years, and then finally seeing it and be like, oh, you guys.
It's so good.
I think that was it was like a month or two after that movie came out when I started to work at Cinemark, if I remember. I think it was August when it came out, and I think I started in October, like 17 years ago.
You worked at Cinemark in 1995?
No,
Bad Boys 2.
Oh, Bad Boys 2.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Two.
Bad
I think
Boys
it came out
2.
in 2003 because I remember that being right when I started.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So Cole mentioned the box office. So listen to this: budget of $90 million, made $424.6 million worldwide.
That's right.
I thought it would be more expensive to make.
And here's the comparison. So Bad Boys 1 budget was $19 million, and Bayhem used some of his own money. And then Bad Boys 2 budget was $130 compared to this $90.
I was gonna say, like, this definitely felt like they'd like reined it in some from Bad Boys 2.
Oh,
Bad
Boys 2 had was an
place.
absurd like spectacle, like that whole movie.
The whole ending. I mean,
they destroyed that whole building. Yeah.
Well, that's why Bayhem didn't want to do the third one, because
they'd rein him in.
No, he said he needed more money. And
I agree.
More than $130.
They should have given it to him. $200 million.
If they're going to give it for Transformers, I don't know why they wouldn't give it for Bad Boys.
That's true. So this had the record for the highest grossing movie released in January, all time.
Well, considering, of all time?
All time.
Oh, wow.
In January. And then it took only 17 days for it to make $146.3 million.
So they are going to make another one. I thought this was going to be like that last Rambo movie where it's like, there's not going to be.
Heck no.
They're done.
Well, they're going to make another one.
This is the only thing Will Smith made besides Suicide Squad.
Yeah, like all of his like returns to acting have just like flopped except for this one.
That weird holiday movie where it was all the death and anger and joy and whatever coming back to him in people form. It was like Keira Knightley. It was the weirdest movie.
It was all fake.
Yeah, it was so boring.
What was that called? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So normally I let everybody know where you can watch this. So right now, as of this airing, you can only see it on Stars right now with a subscription, or you can rent it. But
it's your local Redbox still, since there hasn't been anything else coming out this year.
That's true. We screened it as a 4K Blu-ray. What would you guys rate the 4K?
It looked great.
I mean, it didn't look any better to me than like a Blu-ray would look.
Really?
I mean, I lack your eye.
Well, colors.
Okay.
Color
and your ears. Your audio sensibilities are also far beyond mine as well.
Okay. I take that as a compliment.
Color wouldn't matter, but the detail's insane. Like you can see the pores on their forehead and like the makeup half the time. Like you can see the layers where they've applied it. Because the detail is just a lot more clear.
That sounds like a bad thing to me.
No.
I didn't notice this. Though.
It's just way more detail. Like you notice.
See, my problem with streaming movies and like renting them is the audio is always compressed, and I think the 4K gives you that. But the audio is awesome.
But not everyone has the setup you do.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, even if you have a sound bar or like 2 speakers, it's gonna sound better. But if you're just watching on your TV speakers, it doesn't matter.
Well, at the same time,
sure.
It's something. Unless you're like used to it, I don't think a lot of people would notice. But everyone has their preference.
Shame on everyone.
Once you hear it, it's hard to not unhear it.
It's true. All right. Well, what do you guys think? I have some popcorn trivia that I wanted to go over, but
it's way better than it has any right to be, and it's way better than I would have expected it to be.
Were you expecting it to be better than the second one, or what were you expecting?
I feel like the second one's like so like it's so hard to quantify what makes that movie what it is.
The second one,
because it's like if you wanted me to describe like the second Bad Boys is good, it's like that's not the right word for it. That's not the right quantifier for like what that movie is.
You have to know what.
Bad Boys 2 demands to be witnessed. Like that's
notice me.
We speak your name. Let's see, some popcorn trivia. Martin Lawrence announced the movie in 2013 on Conan O'Brien.
Because I remember hearing about because it was supposed to come out.
Yeah, I just remember hearing that Bay and Will Smith were too expensive. Like. So that was why they were struggling to get money for it. But Will Smith's career had to decline enough that they could make this happen.
Well,
true.
So
because I remember hearing something like way back when they're like, Bad Boys 3 is going to come out and they're going to be 50 years old and And when I looked at Martin Lawrence when we were watching this, and I'm like, he's 55 now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, they really dragged their feet on this thing.
So it turns out Joe Carnahan
Was supposed to direct. That's what he was attached to way back.
He was supposed to direct it. He had a screenwriting credit, so he dropped out of directing due to the delays, and it had lots of delays, making this the second threequel that he pulled out of after Mission Impossible 3 in 2006. So he was also supposed to direct that. For this film, he retains his story and screenplay credit, though. So he directed, obviously, The A-Team, Smoking Aces,
The Gray.
The Gray, yeah, one of my
what has he done
favorite
since
films.
The Gray?
He did one with what's his bucket, Night Owl from Watchmen, called Stretch, about a limo driver that's like trying to
Oh yeah, I never
pick
saw
up
that.
money or drugs or something. It's supposed to be good, but after that, he was attached to like 9 things that all fell apart, and then he was going to do Deadpool.
What do you think they do with their time when they're like in between projects?
That's what I always
that?
wonder. Like, what's his name? The dude, District 9 guy who's had like 18 projects since then. But
Yeah, what are they doing?
that's hopefully making good use of their money, I guess.
The guy from District 9, or the director of District 9, started his own like production company, and he has like all these.
He made
That's
Chappie.
right.
He's made Chappie 1, Chappie 2, Chappie 3.
Chappie 3.
No, there was Alien, and then there was something else he was supposed to
Elysium.
do.
what he was
like
supposed to do.
stuff that was
Yeah,
going to come
no,
to pass, and then it fell
seems
through.
like his star dropped a lot. So like the fact that he was attached to all those big name properties.
Neil
they just-
Blomkamp.
Yeah,
Yeah. So here's some more director information. So this is the director's Hollywood debut, coming off of the strength of their Belgian films. So the two directors.
it makes me want to see them. Like it's always interesting to see like what movie made like Hollywood come knocking.
Well, listen to this. The 2015 they directed Black, and then 2018 a movie called Gangsta. And their agent urged them not to do the film, as if it wasn't successful, it might mean that their end of their careers. And I would have.
Did they fire their agent?
Well,
Being cowardly.
I mean, he's right. Like,
Yeah,
if
but
they would have
so
sucked, but he wasn't right. Or he was right, but also
They proved him wrong.
proved him wrong. Right. Some more director information. A different director. This will be the first Bad Boys film that Michael Bay didn't direct. However, he has a cameo in the film
Oh, does he ever?
as the wedding master of ceremonies who announces Mike Lowrey's speech. Bay directed the scene himself, which is filmed with his signature 360-degree shot.
I did notice that.
kinda
I always
cool.
get dizzy whenever he does that. It's so annoying.
He has he cannot be criticized.
I can criticize the way he looks. It's like a skeleton with leather skin stretched over it and a blonde wig.
He does look very leathery.
Sickly, yeah. He's standing out in the sun 24 hours a day.
This will be the first Bad Boys movie to be filmed in Panavision
Bringing it back.
with Sony Cinealta Venice 6K digital cameras. And the first film in the series to be shot digitally, unlike the first two, which were filmed on 35mm in the standard spherical format and the Super 35 format. It's also the second Bad Boys movie to be filmed in the widescreen 2:39
to 1 ratio.
scope. Interesting facts about Bad Boys for Life.
Like the first wasn't as if like it feels like there has not been that many Bad Boys films.
I
at all.
know. This is the third, but
If you have to go back 1 decade, then you have to go back 2
but
decades.
yeah, but it's been 25 years.
Yeah.
It was released 25 on the 25th anniversary of the first film.
Oh, wow. Memories.
What else you want to talk about with this movie? I have a couple of beefs.
I mean, it's not like I will say like the fact that it's not a Michael Bay movie means that it actually has a reasonable length. It's like a tight like I don't know like 2 hours. It's
Yeah.
not like
Was Bad Boys 2 like 2.5 hours?
it's really
It
long.
feels forever. That's what I remember about Bad Boys 2 is it
and
keeps
also
going
like
and
the
going.
way that it's paced is so bizarre because it feels like it's wrapping up and then there's like another hour.
And then and then
dude.
something blows up, and then they go into another chase scene.
Well, then they go to like they go to his house.
Yeah, no, it's
gnarly.
Like, Bad Boys 2 is an insane movie that just
Well, then that whole scene in the morgue where they're like finding
destroys
the
the
drugs in the
mind.
body. It's like one weird set piece to another. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like they wrote a script. They're just improvising.
I feel like Bayhem just never wants to cut anything. He's like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah, no, and I think the fact that he makes so much money means no one tells him he has to.
that shot costs so
They're
much
like-
money. We got to keep it in. I don't want to waste
it's just
those
like
funds.
victim of his own success. No one's telling him no.
Yeah, exactly. Sir, maybe this shouldn't be 3.5 hours.
Like he's like Dewey Cox in that one movie where he's doing his albums. Like I want 500 didgeridoos.
Well, Bay's one of the guys. That's what the funny thing is whenever the 35 millimeter film cans would arrive at Cinemark.
Oh yeah, as a letter.
Yeah, well, no, not everybody did that.
Yeah, I know.
Pixar would send the cards.
There was a letter.
Like from the director in theory. But probably was.
So like they type something up, like they type a couple of paragraphs, and then like it's his signature. But like Michael Bay did it. There was a couple other people that did it.
This is interesting.
James Cameron.
Yeah, no, I saw. Did you never saw any of them?
No, I always saw the canisters and everything, but
yeah, sometimes they had letters in them.
Yeah, and it's like, hi, I'm Michael Bay. For the greatest viewing experience, I need you to set your projector to this ratio. You need to set it at 7.0, which is like baseline pink noise. It would blow the speakers.
Yeah, no, I was always saying, like, play it as loud as you can possibly play it.
I love experiencing these movies and the theaters where I grew up, and so I hope that I want to recreate that feeling for everyone watching Transformers 3 Dark Side of the Moon for the next 3.5 hours. I want them to forget their own name. But
because they can't hear anymore.
Yeah, exactly. The audience is now deaf. It's THX all over again.
So you guys want to hear my beefs? Even though I really like this movie.
I got a few beefs.
I mean, it's better than Rambo 5 in every way. Like I couldn't help it. Like there's a lot of like common threads. Like this reminded me of is like the shots of Mexico.
Well, we did just recently watch that,
and the cartel. I know, but like those both came out this year. It's just very. I don't know.
Rambo was to the point. Rambo got down to business. You can have your friends can have a party, but stay away from all these dangerous weapons. Oh, you've been kidnapped. Oh, I got to go to Mexico now and make use of these weapons.
So in this movie, which takes place in 2019, Mike mentions his affair with Isabel, which occurred 24 years ago prior to he and Marcus becoming partners.
Which is 95.
Yeah, which is 95, which means they would have had to have become partners before. Afterwards. Yeah, afterwards. So, however, in the first Bad Boys movie, which takes place in 1995, it was established that Mike and Marcus had been partners for 6 years already, even having known each other since high school. Further confirmed in Bad Boys 2 and is seen showing their high school yearbook. So there's no way he could have had the secret.
Yeah, no, like the whole
undercover mission.
The whole backstory thing there is, I think, pretty hokey.
Don't give away any spoilers.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
We kind of already.
I know, but we're towing the line.
Yeah, that it involves like events that took place before the first movie. Like that's like I think that's like. I don't know. It doesn't really matter that much because like that's not
none of it makes sense.
It's not like why I'm there. I feel like that they kept the chemistry between Martin Lawrence and
chronological timeline out compared to wait a minute. Actually, this didn't happen on that day.
And I mean,
I feel like their chemistry is even better this time.
Yeah.
This time, the second one, all they tried to do was like give you jokes or just make you laugh, like them making fun of each other when he shoots up his Ferrari. But this time, they actually like gave him something to talk about with Will Smith's attempted murder.
It's like I feel like the action like chase scenes weren't as like just insane as they were in like Bad Boys 2.
Yeah,
because that early chase scene in that movie with like the jackknifing like semi and stuff.
Oh yeah, and the freeway being
that
destroyed
is one of the most insane like set pieces. I still like it still stands out in my mind.
What about them driving down the like shanty town
in the
Hummer? Oh my god,
I forgot about that. Just like
I say, like it doesn't compare to like in that aspect of it, and like like the main villain's like superhuman like murdering ability.
Yeah,
like that. That's like it seemed like it's something you'd see in like a Marvel movie.
Marvel on
like
Netflix.
he just arms like all these guys,
like
and, like
Isidro Elba's
like
character.
Yeah, like in
what's that movie?
What is?
Oh, Fast and Furious.
No, that was Hobbs.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw, where he
was like a Superman.
He's got a crazy
like that's the way that guy like behaves in like this movie is like he's essentially like some super soldier.
Yeah, exactly.
and there's no real reason to understand why that would be.
It's like Hamster Boy from Die Hard 4 that's always doing parkour and hopping around that won't ever die.
You're talking about the guy in this movie.
Yeah, the one who's
main
like
bad guy.
the one who like is to like takes a shot at Will Smith early on and
he takes out those guys with his little like hook.
He can do a wheelie on a
Knife.
bike while firing a machine
I
gun.
will say
and
like
hit his
another
target.
like if you're gonna like nitpick like the way that the police is like portrayed in this is absurd. Like even compared to like the last two, where it's just like this small like 3-person squad that's involved with like this
I know in
special
Miami.
project in Miami
in a city of 20 million.
Yeah, like,
you've got like 18
so
officers.
you got this small special task force. You see no other cops,
Which acronym is AMMO.
yeah.
I kept thinking it was taco for some reason. Taco. Like, wait, is it taco?
And they're like, we use technology. I mean, I will say that those characters like end up being pretty funny. Like,
watch me plug this phone
like
in.
they're like the big like bulky guys. Like last stuff in the like towards the end is very funny.
It's really good.
Well, that's
There's some good payoff with that.
Well, that's the
it's
one
great.
thing. The second movie, it's all Marcus and Will trying to do comedy and for like the levity, but here they actually let other people tell jokes and like kind of interact instead of dominating like the whole show. It seems like there's more personalities they bring into it.
So here's a beef that that Cole I think would appreciate.
Probably.
So contrary to what is portrayed in the movie, the 5.728 round used in the P90 is not that rare, and it is in fact made by several different manufacturers in the United States and Europe.
I was trying not to laugh when I heard that.
Did you?
Like, it's a common bullet. I'm like, every company would
No,
make
it
it.
was custom made.
That's what they
tips-
kept
the tips-
saying.
Also, they didn't balloon when
The
they went
tips-
into him.
The tips were, yeah. But it was the way she says the caliber of bullet. I'm like, everybody makes those bullets. I'm like, it's a common machine gun. I'm like,
Yeah,
they
I
use
mean,
them in
like,
AK-47s.
that's another. I mean, if you want to,
I figured
you want to
you would
nitpick
know
the
what that
procedural
was.
way that the plot evolves. It's like,
It's-
come on now.
Well, that's what I love. They've got this high tech unit and they plug into a phone and then get all the phone records and then send out a text message to all these call logs in 30 seconds while their chief's getting chewed out all suddenly. The power of a good team.
Yeah, no, it's like it felt like CSI Miami, like with like the super technology and the way that it looks.
Yeah, exactly. It's the high tech gadgetry of the future.
The awesome drones.
Yeah.
Welcome to how us youngsters do it, you old men.
But I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I feel like they did like a good job of like I don't know like because I feel like that would be like a really like I don't know a tired trope to have them. No, these are the old guns being replaced by.
I think they did a pretty good
darn
job.
Well,
millennials.
but at the same time, I'm just thinking in my head that's exactly the next Bond movie where the hit black agent shows up and she's making fun of how old he is and his old techniques and blah blah blah. And I'm like, we're going to be seeing this like in 4 months
as people just keep getting older.
I'm waiting for Mission Impossible to pull that on the next movie.
They've got to, man. He's 60.
Listen here,
You can't have
Ethan.
that guy in movies doing like
Tom
stunts
Cruise?
at
He's
60.
57.
Tom Cruise?
He's
He'll be doing it until he's like 80, bro.
oh no, he's going into
saying,
he's going into space
I
for the
feel like
one movie.
we're doing disservice to like
No,
it's elderly abuse.
elder abuse.
What else is he going to do? Go to Gold Base and talk
It's
about
just like Stallone. I want him to keep doing drugs.
Yeah, no, I do too. I
so
mean,
he can keep giving me
love
movies.
the effort he puts into those. Mission
if Bruce
Impossible
Willis can
movies,
do it
but
when he's 97, then Tom Cruise can do it for another decade or two.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Did you see that image of the huge ramp to nowhere for Mission Impossible?
No,
I don't know what it is, but it looks awesome.
What do you mean ramp to nowhere?
they
There's
built some big.
There's a
set
behind
piece,
the scenes picture for Mission Impossible 7, and it's literally like up in the mountains, and it's a huge like unfinished ramp to nowhere that they built, and somebody's standing like right in the middle of it looking up, but there's no
I gotta
context
check
for
that
it.
out. That's crazy.
It's pretty cool looking.
So here's my last two beefs.
Double patties.
I don't like. So it says, though it's not used in the film itself, both trailers feature a mashup of Bad Boys, the franchise theme by Inner Circle, and Bad Boys for Life by Sean Diddy Combs. Why is that music not blaring in this movie? I want it so bad.
I mean, it's funny because there is that scene like where you expect it to be blaring, like when they're
I
getting
just
out of
want
the
it. I
car
just
in
wanna
slow
hear it,
motion.
man.
Then he hits the hydrant and it cuts it off, and you're like,
Oh, that's right. It was
yeah,
right there.
Like they were gonna do what you wanted.
Yeah,
And then
maybe it was done on purpose, but I really just wanted. I love the P Diddy song. It's so good.
I don't remember. I only know the old school Cops version.
Oh well,
I'll listen to it.
let's do it on your way home, and you'll thank
Experience the awesomeness. I'll tank you.
me. Thank me. Did I say tank?
I thought that's what you said.
Thank you. I thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
gotta edit that out.
Nope, it's all going in the. It's all going in the pod. All right, the last beef I have
Taylor's
is...
worried about being racist.
I am not. I will not be canceled.
That's what a racist would say.
What?
Nothing.
In a number of outdoor scenes, including a funeral and a car chase in downtown Miami, numerous bare trees and fields of brown grass are visible in the background. Since the entire Miami areas have tropical climate, and as such lacks deciduous trees that shed their leaves each fall, it's obvious these scenes were filmed in Atlanta and not digitally retouched. So they filmed like most of it in Atlanta and not in Miami.
They shot all those cityscapes.
But Bayham films all of it in Miami.
Yeah, Michael Bay would not have. He would not have compromised.
But at the same time, that's how you cut $40 million out of your budget because of where you're shooting.
Well,
$200 million.
Georgia,
he deserved it. They should have done it.
Georgia loves them tax breaks. They love them film people.
Yep. Hollywood of the South.
I think they filmed in Tyler Perry's studios in Atlanta. In some of the stuff.
There's a lot of stuff that gets shot there now.
Anyway, you said you had other. Someone else said you had other nitpicks.
My only nitpick is, I guess it's just more funny. I guess it's obviously done for time. It's the second half of the movie is really well done, and they take their time.
I felt like I liked the second half a lot more.
The first half they rushed through everything so fast. Like, here's let's catch you up to date with my daughter giving birth.
I thought Martin Lawrence's fake retirement was pretty funny, but the movie does not move at all with him not in the actual.
He's not doing anything, but then the bad guy shows up, completes his assignments in 20 minutes, and then it just feels so rushed. And then when you get to the second half,
man. It's like,
I feel like the cops should have been more aware that they were screwing up so bad. It doesn't there wasn't mass outrage
because of all these murders,
all these assassinations.
It's literally right up until the inspirational speech with Joe Pete with the captain that it really feels. Then it starts going because everything before that.
Because I wasn't digging it that much for the first half. I will say
the pacing is really odd, and then they rush through things.
I did like the callback to Bad Boys 2.
He turns into a crazy super assassin. And really
what's his name? Reggie?
I think so. I don't know. The guy who they kept saying he was 30.
Yeah, that is great.
And then bullying him and pointing a gun at him.
Oh, the Marine?
Yeah, well, I guess he was.
The husband.
But in the first, he was he was just this really dumb looking teenager in the second one, and they are very, very, very mean spirited to him.
Yeah, and it's good that
it's a good humorous
bit.
Callback. Still, I don't care what anyone says about it being.
You can't change my mind on that subject.
It's funny. It's still funny now.
All right, well, let's give our
funny then, funny now.
Yep, has not changed.
Let's give our ratings. Who wants to go first?
I give it 3 out of 4. It's actually pretty entertaining. It takes a while to get going, but the action scenes are really well. They're pretty well done. They take their time. They know kind of how to build suspense. That last scene in Mexico in the hotel was pretty good.
I mean, I had a lot of complaints.
So you're part of the 96% of audience who liked this movie.
I did not hate this movie. No, I wouldn't.
It's better than the first one for sure.
Yes, I still kind of like the second one just because of how stupid
it's not
it
does not reach the grandeur of Bad Boys 2.
So you're close,
but it's still it's probably a better movie, but as spectacle, I think Bad Boys 2 still has a beat. Because man, what a movie that was.
Michael Shannon was in Bad Boys 2.
Really?
I'm looking at the cast list, and
that's right. He was in that.
Was he the bad guy?
No, I think he's just like an informant or some guy,
just some random character. Yeah. No, I don't remember him being in it.
So we got 3 out of 4 stars from Cole.
Yes, that's me.
Yeah, you are sitting right by me.
Yep.
Taylor.
I've forgotten my scale, but I'd say it's pretty good.
You don't have a scale.
Yours varies from hundreds of stars to thousands of stars.
And to be honest, I don't know where I'd put it based on that. Because
the first half, stars.
I actually did have a lot of complaints. I was going to be this is not as good. There's not a jackknifing semi right out of the gate.
But then I saw you enjoying.
Yeah, no, then it picks up. I don't know what it is. It's moving and there's
because they actually get back together.
Yeah, they get back together and start doing their absurd cop stuff and.
It's like the first half of the movie, it's like dragging its feet, like it doesn't know what it's doing, and then all of a sudden it just kind of like it's flipping a switch. And it's like, all right, we're filming now.
This is my second time screening this, and I actually liked it more because I knew what was the middle stuff, and I could kind of enjoy those slower scenes because I knew what was coming. But I could see that.
But yeah, like, no, the second half for sure, like, I'd say, yeah, no, definitely. I would have recommended it if I'd, like, seen it in theaters. I've been like, yeah, if you're looking for, like, if you know what the Bad Boys franchise is, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
But it's a movie. It's just a popcorn. It's like...
I mean, like, what did I say?
It's a summer film.
I said it earlier.
In January.
It's like
in January.
It felt like they were playing the hits. Because, I mean, it very does, like, it apes the visual style of Bad Boys, too. Like,
they look for the same landmines to touch on.
Sure.
Yeah, the same buttons.
And the same, like, kind of plot structure where, like, you've got the action scenes in Miami, and then...
You've got Martin Lawrence trying to make Will Smith be responsible, but he doesn't want to. But Martin's like, you got to grow up, man. He's like, no, I don't want to. And he's like, okay, I'll grow up. And they're like, all right, bro, Bad Boys for life.
But, you know, it works, you know? It works better than I would have thought.
It's good.
You ever heard of Joe Bob Briggs?
No.
It's like... It's a pseudonym. It's like a fake name. He's an author that's a movie critic. But I think you should adopt his stance where every time he'd rate something, it would just be some crazy rating system, like 8 out of 10 buckets of blood, or just something really random, like 10 out of 12 dozen chicken wings.
I want to do like what? Like
you didn't even say your rating.
Tim Heidecker's rating, where he's like 5 bagger of popcorn, or
it's literally like
with
that.
2 sodas.
Yeah. I'll take the Mega Ultra combo for this rating.
I would say 1 million stars.
1 million, yes. Yeah. That makes me happy. I'm giving it a golden bucket for sure. I love this. I love the franchise. I love all the movies. I love Will Smith. I love Martin Lawrence.
I love that dude getting crushed by the car in the auto shop in that gunfight.
That was good,
dude.
Or the pitchfork through the chest.
There's some good deaths, surprise deaths in this movie for sure.
The thing that was weird. The only other scene that doesn't really make sense is the weird motorcycle circle of death. Like they go from really high class Miami in that nightclub to like the hobo town underneath the bridge, and then they've got all those people on dirt bikes circling them that want to kill them. Like it turns into the Warriors real fast, and then it winds up all being for nothing when they get on that bridge afterwards after the whole motorcycle chase.
Well, didn't they take them all out?
No, that motorcycle stuff was from the club because they tried to arrest him, and
that's what I mean. But then he winds up not being important afterwards. So like that whole section was just like a show off kind of.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, again, if you want to like nitpick the plot, like he was important because chasing him led them right up to meeting the villain again.
I know, and that's what I know. I'm sure they're getting at because they got his phone. But at the same time, like the whole scene underneath the bridge where they don't dare go into that part of town because it's so dangerous, and then it turns into this weird gang movie for like 20 minutes, and then it disappears.
But it kind of helps get Martin Lawrence's character to a place where he's like, okay, I can.
No, I get that, and
I can start hurting people again.
No, I know, and I get it's just the way they do it. It seems really odd. Yeah.
Well, on that note, violence is what they do.
Violence is entertaining.
Yeah, violence is what we do.
That's what America wants, is more violence.
Mm-hmm,
that's right. We want these lizard brains.
We got to keep up the
violent spectacles. We need them.
We got to keep up the European stereotypes of cheeseburgers and guns.
Yes.
That's correct.
I want my bacon and I want my AR-15.
With that, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Peace out.
Hit me up on the Twitters or the Instas if you want to interact with the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I respond to every tweet, post, comment, hashtag, and whatever else there is. Let us know if there's something you would like us to review. Also, if you've enjoyed this or any of our previous episodes, please subscribe so you can get notifications on our newest episodes. I love movies, and I would love it if you would share the love. Muchas gracias. Another way to share the love is sharing those dollars. I've created a Patreon account. If you've liked anything up until this point and want to support the show so we can continue to bring you these entertaining reviews, please do so at patreon.com/popcornpriest. Next week, I want to turn myself in. I want to make a deal. The Neesons is coming back to the pod in Honest Thief from 2020. As always, thanks for listening. This has been Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest. And for Cole and Taylor, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.